Welcome, everybody. Excited to announce our 4-year extension with Budda Baker, a guy that we drafted in the second round. In fact, someone who our scouting department across the board had first-round grades on. And I vividly remember sitting in the draft room and seeing Budda's name stick out like a sore thumb. And at that point in time, became extremely motivated to trade up in the second round and acquire his talents. And certainly has not disappointed. A guy who's been two-time Pro Bowler, led the NFL in solo tackles last year. In fact, when we started our scouting meetings last year with our coaches and our personnel department, I started off our meeting by showing them a clip of a play against the Pittsburgh Steelers last year where we had a number of missed tackles against the Steelers on a wide receiver screen. And after the play was over, Budda Baker had screamed across the field and passed a number of his teammates and knocked the player out of bounds before he hit the goal line. And really, that was an emphasis on what does a Cardinal look like? And to me, that's everything Budda Baker embodies, and his passion, his love for the game, the speed, the explosiveness he plays with on every snap, and his desire. So again, so happy to get him extended, and really proud of the young man and what he's accomplished so far, and expect him to take it to greater heights. So with that, I'll pass it off to Budda Baker, and we'll go from there.
Cool. Well, yeah, first and foremost, I'd like to thank God, for giving me the opportunity to play the game that I love. I'd like to thank General Manager Steve Keim and owner Michael Bidwell and the Bidwell family for giving me this opportunity to play the game that I love. And I'm just very excited because, this is a great thing for me. But then again, I'm thinking about the future and thinking about how great this team can be. Also, I'd like to thank my family, of course, my mom, single mom, having 4 kids was very hard for her. And for me to be in this position that I am today, to be able to help her is, utmost special and a great thing that, I've always dreamed about doing. So, like I said, I'm very excited for the future. I'm very excited to do what we can do this year. And thank you.
Thank you, Budda. And with that, we'll open up for questions, starting with Bob McManaman, Darren Urban, and Catherine Fitzgerald.
This question's for Budda. Congratulations, dude. Well-deserved. 2 quick things. People say, okay, now he got paid. How is he going to keep things motivated? How do you plan on doing that? And also, what's it feel like to know that you're making more jack than Pat Peterson and your top 2 wide receivers?
It's a great thing to have that, being called upon me. But for me, I'm just very focused on the season. It's a great thing that this happened, and I'm truly blessed that this happened. And now, full focus is on getting my teammates better, getting the team better, and hopefully get some more W's in the win column.
Steve, I wanted to ask, given the circumstances of everything going on with COVID and what may or may not happen with a cap, I'm just wondering, for somebody like you, how important it is to get some of these deals done. How difficult of a landscape is it right now to get an extension done like what you just did with Budda?
Yeah, I mean, it can certainly be difficult, Darren, but, and I think that's why getting this extension done probably took so much time. And it was just because of the uncertainty for 2021. And that's going to be something we're going to have to work through here in the future, knowing that we have to operate at a certain number. But Budda was at the top of our list, and we knew that we had to get him extended. We knew that we wanted him to be a core player here for a long time. And to answer Bob's question that he had for Budda, we were all extremely confident that we know what we're going to get out of this young man. I mean, his passion for the game, his practice habits, the way he shows up on every Sunday, I have 100% confidence in knowing that Budda is going to give it to us week in and week out.
Hey, Budda. First of all, congratulations. 2 things. First of all, I was wondering, just being now the highest paid safety of all time in the league, what's that like kind of from that historical league-wide perspective, just knowing that's where you're at? And then Any exciting spending plans? I know you've gotten stuff for your mom in the past, but like any things that you're like, okay, today I'm gonna go get this immediately.
Yeah. To answer your first question, it's definitely an exciting thing for me to be labeled to say that. It was a very cool experience, and it's very cool experience right now. But for me, I'm just trying to earn what I make now. It's I'm labeled as this player, and now I have to show out and continue to show out each and every week, and that's my goals and my plans to do that. And your second question was,
oh, just anything you're excited to buy.
What am I gonna buy? Yeah, I mean, I don't know yet. We'll see. Probably something for my mom or something for my sisters first, and then we'll see. I want to buy a crib, a house, so we'll see.
Next up, we'll go Cameron Cox, Kevin Zimmerman, David Brandt.
Hey, Budda, congratulations. I saw the video the Cardinals put out where I guess Chan called you the money man as you were coming on the practice field. Just curious, what are your teammates saying? I'm guessing Larry, being as vocal he is, he had something to say after you signed this contract, right?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Money man, money guy, all those type of things are being said, and it's all out of love. They're very excited for me. As soon as I got to the locker room, I got a round of applause by all the players, held by Chandler. So it was definitely a cool experience, and now it's just a matter of showing it,
Hey, Steve, I was just wondering, obviously the money amount means you believe in Budda as a person, but from like a football evaluation perspective, what does that say about what position he plays and how well he plays it in terms of the scheme and what you guys want to do with the Cardinals?
Yeah, I mean, I think his production speaks for itself, and his versatility to play in the box, to play the deep half, to do the number of things that he does in coverage, really says a lot about Budda's style, his play, his passion. And really, when you look at the safeties and the way the market is nowadays, the four highest paid safeties, I believe, are 26 years old, and Budda's 25. And again, there's high expectations now, but we have 100% faith that Budda's going to earn this.
24, baby, 24. Yes.
Hey, Budda, how nice is it to, not just to have the security of the contract, but understanding that, they're taking care of you and they're also improving the defense from the outside, drafting Isaiah Simmons, bringing in those free agents like Kennard and Devondre Count, all those guys. And just what's it mean to kind of be asked to help build this sort of nucleus of talent?
Yeah, I mean, I've already had that on my mind. I was even before the contract situation, seeing these new additions and being able to work with them. I was guaranteed to play this year as a Cardinal. It was definitely a great thing just to have these guys here. They've definitely helped as we are in camp right now. Like they're doing really good. I'm very excited for guys like Isaiah Simmons, who's also very versatile, and the things that he can do on the field. Guys like DK and Campbell and Jordan Phillips, like all these guys are going to make huge, great things for the Cardinals defense, and I'm very excited to be a part of that for sure.
Next up, please, Weinfuss, McManaman, Urban.
Hey, Steve, this question's for you. Can you go a little bit more into why it was important to get this done now compared to waiting after this season, but before the league year started?
Well, I mean, again, it's number one, it's cost certainty. The earlier you do it, gives you a chance to look at next year and really where your committed cash is, as well as, Budda earned it. And we felt like he was a guy that we knew we were going to move forward with. We drafted him. And these are the things that make my job special, is when you can make a young man's dream come true, like Budda. And again, just the fact that he's the heartbeat of the defense. I felt like what he talked about earlier about how the locker room responded, I sort of felt like that was going to happen just because of the way the players feel about him and his infectious personality and how he plays the game. So to be able to take care of one of your own, that's extremely important to me.
Steve, in general terms only, how do you guys look against the cap this year and gauging next year? And do you think we'll see you again with another one of these talks before the season begins?
Well, I mean, because of the issues that we're dealing with, and knowing that next year the floor is going to be 175 million, and we're already tight there this year. We have to be creative, and there's some things that we are going to try to do moving forward. But time will tell, and we're going to try to continue to stay aggressive and make sure that we can have sustainable success, which has been our goal all along.
Budda, I'm curious. Steve opened this up by talking about that play you had against Pittsburgh and how it was a great example for what he's looking for in players. So my two questions along those lines are, one, do you remember the play? And two, what does it mean to you that you've got a general manager here that is using you as an example of the kind of players they want on the roster?
Yeah. First, I remember the play for sure, just because, it was a play to where we could have got a tackle for loss, and he guys, squirted out and gained some yards. So I definitely remember that play. And also the next day during film, we watched the play as a team, and of course got a lot of love from the teammates and coaches from that. And to hear that is a great thing for me. It's a blessing for me to hear that. And for me, I'm just focused on doing the things that I can do to make this team even better each and every year, each and every day. And those are my goals, and I'm going to continue to do that for as long as I'm here.
We will close it out with the last three: Catherine Fitzgerald, Cam Cox, Josh Weinfuss.
Hey, Steve. I'm curious, since hiring Cliff, I feel like so many of the really splashy moves by the team have been like Cliff, Kyler, Hopkins, all on the offense side. But obviously so much of this offseason, even now, has been defense focused. Do you, in talking to other people around the league, ever have to be like, hi, like, we have a defense too, like, these are the guys there? Like, do you think the identity is kind of geared or like too much around the offense ever?
You could say that. I mean, I'd say the one thing that Budda pointed out earlier is the number of players that we've added, again, with Jordan Phillips and Campbell, DK, those guys. I mean, and then really to think about the one thing that I wanted to accomplish this offseason is add size and speed so we could have more chase players and guys like Budda Baker. And again, when you add Isaiah Simmons to the second level of your defense, the things he can do versatility-wise and schematically, I feel like we have playmakers all over the field on that side of the ball now, and it gives Vance Joseph a chance to have some success.
Hey, Steve, as someone who's watched football his entire life, evaluated talent his entire life, where does Budda's athleticism rank in your eyes? And have you ever tried to do one of those kip-ups that he does on the field?
No, I'd look like a fat turtle on my back if I tried that. But he, just where he ranks, I mean, the bottom line is you can't find a player that plays with more intensity and passion. I mean, somebody who on every snap gives you all he's got. And I can promise you there's very few of those guys across the National Football League. And in fact, when you talk to guys like Mike Tomlin and other coaches across the league prior to the game, the one name that comes up quite a bit is Budda Baker. That guy's different. The one thing that's different about him is when you watch tape, he plays at a different speed than everybody else. Not only because he's fast, because he finishes and he plays like his hair's on fire. I know people have talked about him like a Tasmanian devil or whatever it may be, but the guy is all heart. And again, that's why for me, this is a rewarding day.
Hey, Budda, you talked about your mom raising 4 kids. How exactly are you going to help her? Like, what kind of specific things are you going to do to pay her back, if you will?
Well, I don't want to really, I can't really say anything yet, just because if my mom sees this or, she'll know. So, there's definitely going to be things that I'm going to do for my mom, and, I'll be sure to post it.